Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jessica. If you're new, it's great to meet you. I make content for growing families, but today I'm making content for growing businesses, or those of you who want to start a business. This is my business partner, Becca. She is my best friend, and I tricked her into doing this video with me. She's got wisdom coming out of her ears, and I'm excited for her to be able to share with you. We have 10 points for you, and we are going to go through them as quickly and concisely as possible because you're an entrepreneur now, and time is money. First step in starting your business, and something that you're going to want to hold to every single month after, is figuring out, why do you exist? What is the problem that you are solving as a business? So for your business, why are we here? What are we doing? And out of that, you'll be figuring out who is your ideal customer. This is super helpful because all along the way, you're going to have opportunities, you're going to have ideas, things are going to come up that were different from when you first started, and you want to have as much clarity around what you're doing so that it can make it easy when you're supposed to say yes and when you're supposed to say no.
That's good.
Good? Okay. Once you've done that, step 2 is branding. And I want to say this, you don't have to get it right from the beginning. All along the way, you can change. So when it comes to running a business, this is not about your identity. So if this business fails, you are not a failure as a person. We want to detach as much as possible from this and play it a bit like a game. So this is all strategy. Does this work? Oh, didn't work. Okay, that failed. Cool. Learning, moving. What can I learn from this? How can I grow? So we're gonna start with branding, and the reason why I say that is because yesterday we met with a friend. We were encouraging him to do some branding for his small business he's starting, and he was like, I don't know, what if in a year I hate it? We're like, perfect. If in a year you hate it, you change it. That's totally fine. So you're picking your branding. What does that mean?
You are gonna wanna do a couple things to create your brand that's gonna communicate who you are as a person and as a business, and also who you think or hope your customer is going to be. So maybe the first step would be identifying a color palette or a few colors that you wanna use on your Instagram or in your logo. And then the second thing would be to create a name. Or that could also be first. And then also creating a logo if that's something that you want to do. And depending on how far along you are in the process of creating your business, you'll have a different budget. And so some of this stuff is so easy that you can do it for free. Like color palette, you can go on Pinterest and you can just type in color palettes and pick one from there. You could also do that on Google as far as like finding fonts that you like. Also Pinterest, you can type in fonts. Or you can go on Etsy and you can buy branding kits for pretty cheap, like $25, $30, $45. And that will have colors, fonts, even some graphics sometimes that are all cohesive with one another. And then you can go on Fiverr or Upwork and have somebody create a logo for you, or even like just your name written in cool font. And then if you have a huge budget, you can hire like an actual like graphic designer to create branding for you. The reason why that's important is because in the first step, you identified why you existed and who your customer will be. So then when you're branding yourself, you want to attract the customer that you believe is your customer. So when that person's on Instagram scrolling through and they see your colors and your font and your aesthetic, they're like, oh, that's something that's interesting to me, and they click on it. That's why knowing who your customer is important before you do your branding.
Exactly. Down below, we're going to link different resources you can use. So like if you're wanting to incorporate or become an LLC, so you're wanting to make your business legal, you can use LegalZoom. And we'll have all these different things that we've used underneath, and you can just go explore it. Obviously, if you have someone in your life who's able to do that for you and you don't have to use one of these websites, you'll probably save money. For us, we didn't have that, so we just used what was available to us. Point 3 is start so small it's nearly impossible to fail. And that's because it's very easy to get discouraged in this process of starting a business. It's really challenging to get going from the front end. Once you're in. So the momentum is there. So you've got your business. Maybe you're like, okay, what do I do? Where do I put it? I don't know if I want a website. Maybe I do want a website. I don't know where to start. I would suggest you start on Instagram. It's the easy way to do it. And you don't even have to start a business account yet. You could just go through your own personal Instagram and start selling something, or start polling your audience to see like, would they buy the thing you're trying to sell? And from there, if you have a physical product you want to sell, you could look into places you could sell it at without having to start an online store. You could sign up for local markets. If you have a baked good or coffee you're trying to sell, you could approach nonprofit organizations or churches and say, you have this, is it possible to sell it on a Sunday or something?
Yeah,
there are lots of...
Or everybody has friends who are getting married. If you have like a baked good or like some sort of food thing, you could offer it at their wedding.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There are so many things. I want you to get creative about thinking through, where could you start? And sometimes you have to pay money to sell. You have to pay $100 to be a vendor at a market. And that is worth it. Because when you go, you are gonna learn so much about what works, what doesn't, what do you need. You could go and it could be a total flop. You could make no money at all. And it would be like, cool, I just paid $100 for a class on business, because you will walk away knowing exactly why that didn't work. Maybe it was the wrong audience, so the people there didn't care at all about the type of thing you're selling. Perfect, that's valuable information. Basically, you're stepping out, and if anything, you're gathering data. And you don't wanna make your goal to make money from the front. Obviously, we hope you don't lose money, but it's important to learn and grow along the way. And this is all how you do that.
Yeah.
Shopify is a really great hosting site if you want to run an online store. So that is what we did, but there are a lot of options. Some of you guys have written me that you have shirt designs and you just want to sell shirts and see if that's possible. You could go through Redbubble, which is a place where you could just upload a design and then sell from there. It's a little bit more expensive for people to buy, but maybe you're only going to sell 5 to 10 shirts. It's worth it to see, do people like this? Do they buy from you? There are also places where you can do, I think it's like drop shipping, where basically you upload your design, people buy kind of from this third party, so you don't have to do anything. You're not packing anything up and sending it out. And then you get a percentage of the profit, and then the kind of facility that you're running through gets a percentage. There are a lot of options. It depends on what kind of thing you're looking to sell.
If you're not selling clothing, then there's also like a lot of manufacturers in the US and also China that you can like contact and ask them if they can design something, and you show them a prototype or whatever.
There are 2 websites that are pretty commonly used for getting products that you would then sell. So Fair is one, and Alibaba is another. Alibaba is very common for people who are going to be selling on Amazon. Fair is one that people use when they're selling in like little shops. Both of those, I think you need to have a legal business. So this is when you would want to go through like LegalZoom and get the EIN and everything you need to like the business. Is that
license?
what it was? Business license,
and
yeah.
Like a seller's license.
Yeah, that's what you would want to do in order to get your business license and seller's license, because some places require it in order to buy from them. Again, it all depends on what your business is.
Several years ago, I got into photography and videography, and I wanted to do weddings, but I also knew my skill level wasn't to par with, you know, what normal photographers are charging. And also I didn't have a portfolio. That was the bigger thing. And so I actually offered to film and take pictures for different weddings for free, which technically then I'm losing money because my time isn't being paid for. But in the end, it was worth it, because then the next time somebody approached me about taking pictures or video, I could show them what I could do, and that added a ton of value to what I was offering.
And it got you more jobs, because those brides then told other people who their photographer was, and ultimately people ended up paying.
Yeah, totally, exactly. If it comes down to it, be open to the idea of doing things for free, or even at a cost to yourself if you're offering a product that you had to front the money for, and then you're giving it away for almost free. Like, that is also worth it for you, because it's like marketing.
Yeah, sometimes it is worth it to do it entirely free to the right people. So maybe you could even write to people you see on Instagram that are influential or aligned, like their audience is probably your target market, and say, would it be okay if I send you this? Depending on the number of followers they have, they're probably checking their DMs, and you'd be amazed at how nice people are. Many of them will say yes, unless they're major influencers. Then they're gonna expect you to pay them to promote your product, because ultimately this is their job too. But if you know someone of influence, if you know someone who works in the same sphere that you're trying to tap into, give them your stuff for free, package it beautifully, make it like a memory so that they see it and they're like, whoa, that was really cool. We've done that even with people who don't have big online followings, but we know that they are in a world of families that we think other parents would like our stuff. So we bring them a gift just to like make that entry point. Here's what we have. And it's been really important.
Totally.
Good.
Yeah.
Here are some things we would do differently. So now for those of you who are already in business and you're just trying to figure this thing out, first year of business, we did really well. It was like $100,000 in sales. I couldn't believe it. I remember I cried. This was like, wow, magic. I can't believe people are buying what we're selling. Second year in business, woo, hard year. And that was last year. And then thankfully I was able to talk to some other small business owners and find out that this was actually pretty common across the board. The economy is not great and people are feeling it. So now we're in this year and we are doing some things differently. One of the things we're doing is realigning with our original vision and becoming much more simplified so that we can expand in other ways. First thing we would do differently and are doing differently now is tracking our money better. Will you speak to that?
Yeah. When we first started, we weren't really paying attention to like what our actual costs were versus what we were spending. That was an issue because we just had one bank account, everything went in and out of it. It would have a lot of money in it and we would feel like we could restock all these different things or buy new products, and then we wouldn't be accounting for bills that we had due, and then we would have no money to restock things that we actually needed to restock or bills that we had to pay. That I feel like is really important when you start your business, is to track everything and know exactly what you're spending, like down to the penny, and then know the money that's coming in as well, and understanding the actual profit that you're making. And then something that we learned and started doing is we opened multiple bank accounts, and we are taking like a certain percentage each month of the money that's coming in and putting it in different bank accounts for different reasons. So like one is for future restocks, and one is for packaging and supplies that we need to send out packages. Another is taxes. Another is bigger items like computers or cameras.
Just our like monthly bills come out of one.
Yeah. Or marketing, also like marketing dollars. And that has helped a lot for us to know exactly like what we actually have to spend on certain projects that we need to do.
Yeah, and we ended up hiring someone who looks over our books, our bookkeeping, just to make sure things are done properly. And we have someone who does our taxes, because that stuff's really stressful and you don't want to do it wrong.
Yeah, we tried to do it originally and it caused a lot of stress.
Yeah, it's not good. Cash flow is really important. That's the idea that you need to know where your money is going and make sure that you don't accidentally put all your money into a new product and then that product doesn't sell and then you don't have money left to pay your bills, market things, you know. So just now we're doing a better job at understanding how this all works. Some of it is that you have to be in business long enough to know when you're busy and when you're not. So for us, we're very busy around Mother's Day and Father's Day and Christmas. We're very slow right now. And so we need to understand that. That way when we have Christmas, we hold some money and have it get us through rather than a big burst of money comes in and then we spend it all at once. And then, we struggle. So we are learning.
Our first year, we did really good during Christmas. And then January, we did the biggest restock we've ever done.
Yeah.
And then we had no money and a ton of product.
Yeah, we didn't know.
Yeah, we didn't know.
So, lesson learned. Don't do it, guys. Don't do it. Marketing needs to exist alongside everything else. If you have amazing inventory, but you're not telling people that you have it, then you're not going to sell much. So we're learning this way of focusing both on making sure we have good things to offer people, but also making sure we have a way of telling the world about it. Even if we're not spending money on marketing, our own personal social media accounts are great ways to do that. Or having people who are happy customers, we say like, hey, could you post about this? Because word of mouth is so powerful, especially now. So just knowing that that's a really valuable piece that you need in your business. Without marketing, you'll flop, but also without inventory, you'll flop. So you need it kind of to be this balance of we have stuff in stock and we have word going out about it. Without one of those two things, you will struggle. Okay, second to last point, take care of yourself. Mentally, physically, without your health, what do you have? We experienced that.
Maybe like a year into our business, I started to really struggle mentally. The business, when it first started out, was in my room and I lived alone. So then I was just working like all of the time on the business and really putting like all of my emotions and hopes that it would work. And it was my only thing that I was doing. I didn't have another job. And then when it started to do poorly, I think then I started to detach from all of it and just kind of not do well and have like a lot of anxiety over the business and just like life in general. And then it got me to a place where I like basically couldn't work on the business, and that was bad for me, but that was also bad for you.
Yeah,
because then
that's hard.
I wasn't a good partner.
Sure. I mean, she's more than a partner. We love her. That is actually part of this point, is take care of yourself. And if you go into business with someone, the relationship you guys have is so important. And you hear it over and over again when you listen to like podcasts from founders who go into business together. That relationship is going to determine a lot about how the business does. And so for both of us, we learned a lot in this whole, I mean, it's been 2 years, a little over 2 years of being like, okay, we need to take care of ourselves. Sometimes we need space from the business. So she needed space for a time, so I was doing more. When we first started, I had a fresh baby, so she was doing a lot and I was caring for a little baby. It's such a give and take, but if one of you is suffering, or if you as the owner are suffering, the business is going to suffer too. And so you want to have things in place where you can be healthy and well, and the business can be healthy and well. And ideally, you have people around you who can carry the load when you need some sort of break. And that is kind of what we're trying to figure out now, is how can we, as this business has grown, how can we delegate and bring in people who care about this alongside us and can help to make sure that the business is successful and also that we stay okay in the midst of leading this thing together. Last point is equity is the most valuable thing you have in the business. So that was news to me. I think in the sense that like anytime someone wanted to help us with the business, I always was like, yeah, and you can own a part of the business. That's what I thought. Like, yeah, you'll just, here, you take a percentage and you get a percentage, you get a percentage. And then some very wise business people were like, stop thinking like that. You would save yourself money in the long term if you would get a loan or use a credit card, because even if you're paying interest, you're not giving away a part of the business. And the goal is that businesses grow, so then they're making you money. And for us, our goal is pretty lofty. Like, we want this to be the real deal, something that we do and is our only source of income, and it's not only sustaining us, but is sustaining many employees. And so if I just continue to like give pieces away and don't really think through, what is this person bringing to the table? Are they going to help grow the business? Can I totally trust that they have our best interest in mind as they do this with us? I don't know. Basically, I just learned to be cautious about giving away equity and not just offer it at like, I need help and I don't have money, so here, you get to own part of my business. There are ways to get money without giving away your business. And there's a whole lot we could say about that, but that's just the beginning. Okay.
Good.
Guys, if you have specific questions about this, we would love to chat more. Yeah, we're really, really in the thick of learning. So anything we're sharing is not as an expert, but really just as like, here's what we're doing. Maybe this would help. And maybe you see things that you've done or you would do that would be better than how we're doing it. Will you tell us? We would love to learn from you. Currently, we're in a stage of expansion.
Yeah.
And so now it's like we're having to figure out how to take out loans, and maybe we're going to do a friends and family round. I don't know. There's some stuff because we have some beautiful opportunities on the horizon, and it will take dinero to figure it out. And we're learning how to do all of that, which is new to me and you.
Yeah.
So wish us luck. We'll see you soon. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you for supporting Very Good Mothers Club, and good luck with your business.
Bye.